businesses. Keeping Ocala local. Use hyper.directory. No .www, not even .com. Just hyper.directory. Connecting customers to businesses when it matters most.
15 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. One of the things that we run into a lot as hosts of a radio show is talent. We run into talented people. They can be talented singers or authors or songwriters or musicians. And every single time we have somebody who blows us away with their talent, I always think this is going to be somebody famous. This person's going to be famous. And Robin and I have been doing this. Well, I've been doing this since '84. You started doing it '88 or something like that.
Yes.
So in other words, some of these people they've had enough time pass and it never happened for them. And not that it still couldn't. I mean, most of those people are probably still alive. But you also often wonder, what is it? I mean, what is it that makes somebody with talent not able to break through to what they call the big time? You know, what is it? Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think when you are looking at, for example, a singer and they get onto something like American Idol, maybe that's one avenue. I'm sure there are many different avenues for things, right?
Right.
But the one thing that I'm always skeptical of is contests. And the writing contest that you've heard us talking about, the Writers of the Future contest, in my mind, is the one to recommend if you are an author, especially of science fiction. Well, I guess only of science fiction. They don't do like romantic novels, right? They don't do that stuff.
I don't
it's all
think
science fiction.
so. I think it's all science
But anyway, and this is not just for writers. This is also for illustrators. So hopefully we have turned some of you on, to use a hippie phrase. We've turned you on, man, to entering this contest. It's free. It costs you nothing. And many times you will get feedback from, like if you don't win, in other words, you'll get feedback as to maybe what you can do better next time. You and I, Robin, this coming Saturday, we're judging videos for the school system.
Right.
And that's part of our job as judges, is to not only give a score, but also to, at the bottom, say, here's something you might want to try doing next time. Give them some encouragement as well as some useful information that might make them better. So one of the folks out there in California is John Goodwin, and he's been on the show with us before. He's the president of Galaxy Press, which publishes the Writers of the Future books. Mm-hmm. Volume 32, I believe, just came out or is coming out? In May it's coming out, okay. John Goodwin is a member of the Dubai Press Club. He's a science fiction writer himself, right? Am I right?
Yes, he is.
And let me not say anything else. I'll just go to him because I have a question about the stars on the sidewalk. Good morning, John. How are you?
Good morning. It's great to be here.
That was a long intro, wasn't it? It took too long. I got to have a stopwatch when I do those intros. So are you in California, Hollywood right now?
I'm in Hollywood right now. Actually, we're getting ready for a big, you're talking about the stars, a big star ceremony with Eugenio Derbez. I don't know if you've ever heard of him before, but in the current issue of Variety, he's got 12 pages devoted to him.
Really? Who is he?
He's from Mexico, and he's making it. He's right now got the current biggest grossing crossover film in the United States.
Really?
And he's just releasing a movie next week with Jennifer Garner, and he's getting ready to record another film as an elderly, or as a Hispanic gentleman who likes to play around in his. He's doing it with Betty White, so he's an elder. It's a comedy. It's a comedy.
Cool. That is cool.
It's a lot of fun. So anyway, he's getting his star in a couple of hours, and then his after party's here. So there are going to be a lot of TV, a lot of media here doing interviews with him, and then we'll also have a lot of the executives from like the various TV and movie companies. We'll have someone from Univision and from, I think, Sony, and from...
that is exciting stuff.
Several things here. Yeah, and then
so what's his name?
Celebrity friends.
Tell me his name.
His name is Eugenio, Eugenio Derbez, Derbez.
D-E-B-Z? D-E-R?
Derbez.
Okay.
Eugenio, yes.
Okay. Wow. He's a handsome guy.
He's a very handsome guy. He's just an amazingly nice person.
So his films are in Spanish? Is that right?
Yeah, and now he's doing the Spanish and English. So what's coming out this next week is in English, and the one he's filming with Betty White is obviously English, but just a really, really nice person. And so he'll have a lot of his friends will be here, and he's got his a private party upstairs on our fourth floor.
Right.
It's similar to what we do when we have our Hollywood Christmas parade set up, when we have set up as a green room.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
I have a question about those stars on the sidewalk. There was was a story. Was it 2 days ago? Yesterday?
Yes, 2 days ago.
And it was about a proposal made to the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce to have a royal blue border put on the stars of those stars who are deemed to be superstars. Have you heard of this?
I have not, but
I don't know.
seems
I don't know who would differentiate. I don't know if like Bob Hope.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, who would differentiate, and then to say that, you're just going to create, I think, so much upset of. I mean, the whole thing of the stars is to celebrate the 5 separate industries that the stars represent, and then start segregating, saying, well, this is by whose standard are you saying these are the most famous? Is it based on the number of returns you get on the Google search?
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Right.
wow, yeah. Well, we were kind of talking about it without having any knowledge of it, really.
Yeah.
And we were saying, well, maybe if you know the name, like if a 16-year-old and an 80-year-old both know the name, then that would be a superstar. Like Elvis.
Yeah.
I'm guessing everybody knows Elvis Presley.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Sure, but what's going to happen then is the only people that are going to really get on there is like anybody connected with Star Wars, Star Trek, that type of thing will make it. And I haven't heard this. Shortly I'll be meeting with the gal that runs the whole Walk of Fame program.
Cool.
And so I'll be talking with her.
Oh,
and it's
we have an inside scoop on this story, Robin.
Yeah.
I can't hear it.
there you go. Yeah, so I'll find out. And
Because Larry said that they were going to put a blue border around it, and that would cost $1,000 if it's a superstar.
Yeah, superstar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
wow. Okay. Well, that's I think that's going to cause so much problems that I don't think it's going to get very far.
Well, tell them then to vote it down. Now that you've convinced me, I didn't have an opinion. I thought, all right, well, I guess if I'm out there, I'll be walking down the street. Hey, there's a superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and this guy's not a superstar. This is just, immediately what's going to create this, and for everything that you say plus is going to, somebody's going to turn then the minus, saying, well, yeah, see, he's just great in his own mind. It's like it gets pretty jaded out here, so it's make it easier just to keep it on something like that. If you make it on the Walk of Fame, that's way cool.
That is cool. How many stars did you know? I mean, I don't mean to stick on this subject, but how many stars are actually down there?
Well, there's several thousand, but I think there's enough empty stars to go for another like 15, 20 years easily.
Yeah, I hear of
There's a lot of because it goes all the way from La Brea, which is near where I am, all the way up past Vine, and then you've got also running east and west.
Uh-huh.
In the north and south, you've got there on Vine Avenue, which starts up at Capitol Records and goes all the way up to Sunset. So there's a lot of stars to be filled yet.
Did I ever tell you that I used to work at 9229 Sunset Boulevard?
No. What was that?
It was a building where, I don't know what the name of the building was, but the guy I worked for was, Phil Gernhardt, who was a music producer. Mm-hmm. And Dick Holler was a songwriter and like an A&R guy. And basically, I would just be there. You know what I did to earn money there was I did transcribing?
Yes.
I would take the songs on the tape. They had cassette tapes. And I would take them and sit in the room and put them into note for note things. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, there were a couple of famous people came through. The guy Tom Sullivan, the blind guy.
Yeah.
He used to come there all the time. So the Bellamy brothers came there. Jim Stafford. This is going way back.
Yeah.
Before you were born, John.
Well, Phil Gernhardt placed his song "Burning Bridges" in the Kelly's Heroes movie.
Oh wow! Okay.
He did that. Yeah.
Oh wow! How'd you know that?
Because I read the credits.
Oh wow! All right. So what are we talking about today? Are we talking about the Writers of the Future Volume 32?
Sorry, I didn't get that again. I just had to close the window for a big fire truck that was driving by.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard the fire truck. Are we talking about the next Volume 32?
Yes, the next Volume 32. That's coming out, obviously, and we're having the big awards ceremony on the 10th of April. I don't know anybody who's going to be in Los Angeles around that time, but it's it's open to anyone who would like to attend. They just need to RSVP. But it's what's one thing that makes it very special this year is it's got a steampunk theme.
What is that?
Steampunk is a subgenre of science fiction and fantasy, and it's kind of like you take the style of Victorian look with the men's hats and the women's with their gowns from that old Victorian style, and then you add in steam technology, which was the type of power, or one of the forms of power that was used, and then you bring that forward into the future to now, and so spaceships are powered by steam. You've got all this stuff that's like steam powered, but it has that old Victorian look to it. So it's a type of science fiction subgenre that's become actually quite popular. And one of our winners from 25 years ago, named Sergei Poyarkov, who won, it was actually probably about 2 or 3 months after the Iron Curtain went down. He was from Ukraine.
Oh, wow.
He came over here, and a lot of his style is that steampunk style, and he did the cover art, and we're doing a special recognition for him on his 25th anniversary as a winner of the contest. He became a judge too, and he's an amazing artist, an amazing persona as an artist. He's when he came over, because USSR was incredibly oppressive as a form of government, and nobody really had any money. And so when he came over, he was literally one of those poor, starving artists. He was the grand prize winner. We had to loan him a tie and a jacket because he didn't have one when he got here. And he has since gone on to incredible success. He built a castle in Kiev, where is his home.
Oh, wow.
He's had studios in London and New York as well as Kiev. Just an amazing individual. So he did the cover art and did an article there. And then Tim Powers, who is one of our judges, is actually one of the creators of steampunk. So he wrote an article on how steampunk came to be, how that started. And we have a group called the Star Wars Steampunk Universe, and they're the official Star Wars steampunk group, because it is such a big subgenre that they promote all things Star Wars through their lines with steampunk.
Wow.
So they're going to be there in volume. So it's very, very exciting on this. And so we have all of our various judges that will be in attendance. And
this is a month from today, right? May 10th.
Yeah, Sunday.
Oh,
it'll be on a Sunday.
April 10th. I'm sorry, April 10th.
April 10th. Yeah. So we have a lot of our. I think you've had some of them on your show, but we've got.
We've had a lot of them. We've had a lot of them. Yeah.
Kevin Anderson, Rebecca, Orson Scott Card will be there. Larry Niven and Jerry Purnell, Tim Powers, I mentioned, Sean Williams from Australia. Doug Beeson is just a really, really nice, amazingly nice man. He was one of the directors. He retired recently, but he's one of the directors of national security at Los Alamos. We have Todd McCaffrey, who's the son of Anne McCaffrey. Rob Sawyer, who's like the Dean of Science Fiction from Canada. Dave Wolverton. I don't know if he's done your show before,
Yes.
Dave Farland.
Yep.
Dave
Yeah,
Wolverton.
he has.
Sure has. Yeah, we're recognizing the names. And everybody's so different. They're all different. They've all got a similar talent, but they're all such different personalities.
Exactly,
Yeah.
different artists too.
Which is what makes the contest so good, because it's not like this is how you have to do science fiction or fantasy or alternate history or horror. It's like, here's some tools you can use, and because we have such an amazing, I guess, panoply of talent. If someone wants to, you got Tim Powers that takes a year or more to do a book. Kevin Anderson does 5 a year. They're all amazing talent, but they just have different techniques and styles of how they do it.
Wow.
Kevin's hiking around the tallest peaks in the United States as he dictates his stories as he's writing, and Tim Powers has an amazingly thorough research and 3x5 cards that he lays out and puts pieces together the story before he writes it. So we got something for everybody. Whatever they want, we can actually provide for them.
Sounds fun.
Wow.
So if we're out there, we knock on your door and we go in, right? April 10th at the Wilshire Ebell Theater in L.A. If you're out there. Yesterday, Robin and I were watching the Randy Newman video, I Love L.A.
Yeah, that was cool.
Gosh, I want to go back. I had, a history there, but not much. But John, thank
Yeah.
you for being on the air with us today. I wanted to ask you about your movie career. Are you in any movies?
I am not. I just do a lot of stuff to help trying to support and make things go
Okay.
here. So,
Okay. I just
meaning
wasn't
as a
sure.
publisher, I tell people to buy my books. As you know, I publish all of the L. Ron Hubbard fiction books.
Yeah.
So galaxypress.com or writersofthefuture.com gives all the information on that.
Excellent. Thank you, John.
But they're great. You're welcome.
We've cut around. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. GOP presidential hopefuls are getting ready for another debate
In a
tonight.
town hall last night, Donald Trump told Fox News he's ready for any attacks.
Some people say, just stand up and let them say whatever they want. You're presidential. It doesn't work that way. I would be run out of town if I did that.
Polls show Marco Rubio far behind in his home state, but he insists he's not going anywhere.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. The president and his Canadian counterpart holding